Hello everyone and welcome to my The Young and the Restless official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless spoilers the week of March 9th 13 revealed that Nikki Newman may lay down the law with Victor Newman while Victoria Newman faces the consequences of a major blunder. Audra Charles may also be gearing up for a bad decision, so here's what Y&R viewers can look forward to. For starters, Audra won't be thrilled to hear Sally Spectra let Billy Abbott use that goodbye dinner to reel her back in. Sally reunited with Billy, so Audra will worry about what this means for Spectra Charles Media. That quote is especially true since Billy may already be losing Chancellor. Victor Newman will stand by his demand for Chancellor in exchange for hostage Jack Abbott's freedom, so plenty of dramas on the way. Of course, since Billy's contract isn't locked in at this point, Phyllis Summers will be in charge of what happens to both Chancellor and Jack. Diane Jenkins Abbott may be forced to make a frantic appeal to Phyllis and try to convince her to give Chancellor up. However, Kane Ashby is hoping Phyllis will surrender even more than that if Daniel Romalotti Jr. and Summer Newman strike a deal with her. Summer and Daniel might be willing to forgive Phyllis if she returns the Newman Empire, so that could back Phyllis into a difficult corner. In the meantime, Nikki Newman will inevitably find out Victor has gone to extremes and force Jack into captivity. Since Nikki will be livid, this could bring another divorce threat and the promise that she'll actually leave Victor if Jack doesn't go back to his family unharmed. As for Victoria, she may ultimately regret concealing the kidnapping ruse regarding Lily Winters and the twins. Victoria didn't tell Nate Hastings what she knew and just let him worry, so that news is bound to blow up in her face. Although Victoria may assure Nate that Lily and her kids aren't in true danger, Nate may argue that she can't know that for sure. Regardless, Victoria should have been honest with Nate, especially considering how close they've been getting. This could slam the brakes on Nate and Victoria's romantic reunion before it ever really has a chance to take off. While Matt Clark continues to send ominous messages, Nick Newman won't give up on his takedown plan. Sharon Newman will remain on edge, but Nick will be adamant about stopping Matt for good once they draw him out of hiding. Back with Audra, she could be tempted to go along with Holden Novak's scheme to ruin Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman's connection. Audra may not be able to stand it until she bursts Claire's bubble and ensures Kyle is single. Unfortunately, this sabotage plot could backfire if it renews Claire's fight to destroy Audra. Finally, Christine Blair Romalotti will keep prepping for Mariah Copeland's trial and hope she can score her client a mental health facility stint instead of prison. The Young and the Restless spoilers say some shocking moments are still to come in Genoa City, so stay tuned. The week of March 9-13 in Genoa City promises a storm of tension, betrayal, and emotional reckoning as the lives of the Newman, Abbott, and Spector families collide in ways that could leave lasting scars. Nikki Newman, ever the voice of reason amid the chaos, is bracing herself to confront Victor in a way she has never dared before. Victor, relentless and calculating, has crossed a line that could shatter their already fragile marriage, and Nikki's fury is simmering beneath a poised exterior. As the truth about Jack Abbott's captivity comes to light, Nikki's rage threatens to erupt, carrying with it the weight of a marriage on the brink and the potential for a divorce that feels more real than ever. The tension in the Newman household is palpable, a quiet storm building just beneath the surface, each glance and word heavy with unspoken threats and heartbreak. Victor's single-minded pursuit of power has pushed him to extremes, and Nikki's ultimatum hangs like a thundercloud. If Jack doesn't return safely, she may finally walk away, leaving Victor to confront the consequences of his ruthless decisions alone. Meanwhile, Victoria Newman is navigating a treacherous path of her own, weighed down by the consequences of a secret she thought she could control. Her decision to conceal the kidnapping ruse involving Lily Winters and the twins from Nate Hastings has set the stage for an emotional reckoning. Victoria may try to assure Nate that Lily and the children are safe, yet the seed of doubt has already been planted, and Nate's trust wavers under the weight of uncertainty. Their budding romance, tender yet fragile, now teeters on the edge of collapse, threatened by a lack of honesty at a moment when openness was crucial. Every interaction between them is now tinged with tension, every word carrying the potential to either heal or fracture what they've been building together. For Victoria, the fallout is a painful lesson in how secrets, even those born of good intentions, can explode in the most devastating ways, reshaping relationships and leaving hearts vulnerable. Across town, Audra Charles finds herself entangled in a web of manipulation and temptation, struggling to resist decisions that could cost her dearly. The sight of Sally Spectra using a goodbye dinner to reel Billy Abbott back into her orbit fills Audra with unease, igniting concerns over the future of Spectra Charles Media. The stakes are high. Billy may already be losing his foothold at Chancellor, and with Victor's relentless pressure linking Jack Abbott's freedom to control over the company, the tension ratchets ever higher. Phyllis Summers emerges as a pivotal figure in this unfolding drama, the fate of both Chancellor and Jack now resting in her hands. Diane Jenkins Abbott may be forced into desperate appeals trying to convince Phyllis to relent, while Kane Ashby quietly hopes that Phyllis will give up even more if Daniel Romalotti Jr. and Summer Newman can strike a deal. The young couple's willingness to forgive Phyllis for the sake of reclaiming the Newman empire could leave her trapped, navigating a tightrope between loyalty, power, and survival. Each decision ripples outward, touching lives, alliances, and ambitions in ways that could redefine the balance of power in Genoa City forever. As the pressure mounts, Matt Clark continues his menacing campaign, sending ominous messages that unsettle even the most resolute. Nick Newman, steadfast and unwavering, refuses to back down, determined to bring Matt to justice once and for all. Sharon Newman, meanwhile, remains on edge, sensing the danger lurking in every corner, yet holding on to hope that Nick's plan will finally neutralize the threat. The tension here is almost cinematic in its intensity. Every message, every whispered warning, every calculated move carries the weight of imminent danger and the potential for lasting repercussions. Audra's personal struggle takes a darker turn as she contemplates Holden Novak's scheme to undermine the relationship between Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman. The temptation to intervene, to shatter Claire's happiness and ensure Kyle remains single, gnaws at her resolve, revealing the lengths she might go to protect her own interests. Yet, in this dangerous game of manipulation, the risk of miscalculation looms large. Should her sabotage backfire, Claire could emerge stronger, more determined to retaliate, and Audra might find herself facing consequences far more personal and painful than she anticipated. Meanwhile, Christine Blair Romalotti is quietly but diligently preparing for Mariah Copeland's trial, navigating the fraught corridors of justice with precision and care. Her goal is clear: to secure her client's placement in a mental health facility rather than a prison cell, a path that requires both legal cunning and empathetic understanding. Each case file, courtroom strategy, and client interaction is layered with the stakes of human lives and the profound consequences of the law. In Christine's world, every decision carries weight. Every argument could tip the scales, and the tension between justice and mercy creates a haunting undercurrent that underscores every moment. Genoa City is on the brink this week, a city pulsing with secrets, lies, and shifting loyalties. From the Newman mansion to the chaotic corridors of power at Chancellor, from the quiet scheming of the Spectras to the tense maneuvers of those desperate to protect family and empire alike, the stage is set for a week of reckoning. Hearts will be tested, relationships pushed to their limits, and the lines between right and wrong blurred in the most dramatic ways. For viewers, every scene promises a blend of suspense, heartbreak, and cinematic intensity as the residents of Genoa City confront the consequences of their choices in ways that will resonate long after the week has passed. The city itself feels alive, as if it knows the storm brewing within its walls, each secret and betrayal a thread in an intricate tapestry of drama, passion, and human emotion. As the week unfolds, Billy Abbott finds himself trapped between personal loyalty and professional survival, navigating a labyrinth of power plays that could define the future of Chancellor forever. With Sally Spectra having artfully reinserted herself into his life under the guise of a farewell dinner, Billy's emotions are a storm he can barely contain, the collision of past love and present duty stirring deep conflict within him. Every glance at Sally, every moment of flirtation and subtle manipulation forces Billy to weigh his heart against the demands of family, corporate allegiance, and the looming shadow of Victor Newman's relentless control. Chancellor teeters on the brink, its fate intertwined with the well-being of Jack Abbott, held hostage in a situation where loyalty is currency and every decision carries the weight of potentially devastating loss. Diane Jenkins Abbott's frantic interventions add a layer of urgency, her pleas for Phyllis to relinquish control painting a picture of desperation, while Kane Ashby quietly orchestrates strategies, hoping to tip the balance in favor of the younger generation. Summer Newman and Daniel Romalotti Jr., caught in the center of these high-stakes negotiations, must navigate both moral dilemmas and family pressure, their choices capable of reshaping alliances and bringing long-hidden resentments to the surface. In Genoa City, no action exists in isolation. Every ripple spreads outward, threatening to collide with the ambitions, desires, and vulnerabilities of everyone involved. Victor Newman, ever the master strategist, watches the chessboard of his empire with cold calculation. But even he may underestimate the force of Nikki's righteous fury. Her anger at Jack's captivity is not just marital indignation, it is a moral reckoning that challenges Victor's very identity as a man of power. Each heated conversation between them crackles with tension, the unspoken threat of divorce hanging like a knife over their heads. Victor's machinations, once unassailable, now face a counterforce in Nikki's unwavering moral clarity, and the emotional stakes of their battle extend beyond business or empire. They cut deep into family, legacy, and love itself. For Nikki, this is not merely about revenge or control, it is about ensuring that those she loves are protected and that Victor finally confronts the consequences of his extremes. As Victor maneuvers to maintain dominance, the simmering tension between them promises explosions of passion, heartbreak, and moral confrontation that could alter the Newman family forever. Meanwhile, Victoria Newman confronts the personal fallout of secrecy and half-truths, as her concealment of Lily Winter's kidnapping ruse leaves her vulnerable to Nate Hastings' disappointment and distrust. Their relationship, which had been slowly finding a delicate equilibrium of trust and shared vulnerability, now hangs in precarious balance. Nate's struggle to reconcile the danger his loved ones faced with Victoria's withholding of information creates a quiet, tense storm of emotion where every glance, every carefully chosen word feels weighted with consequences. Victoria's attempts to assure him of Lily's safety are undermined by the undeniable truth that certainty is impossible, and the seeds of tension planted by her choices threaten to halt their romantic progress before it truly begins. In the intimate spaces of Genoa City's quieter corners, romance and trust are fragile commodities, and the mistakes of the past echo loudly, shaping the possibilities for the future. The emotional resonance here is intimate yet universal, a portrait of human imperfection, vulnerability, and the complex ways love can falter under pressure. Elsewhere, the shadow of Matt Clark's ominous presence looms large, as Nick Newman refuses to let fear dictate his actions. Each message from Matt serves as a pulse of dread, a reminder that danger can erupt in any moment. Yet Nick's steadfast determination to confront and neutralize the threat drives the narrative forward with suspenseful momentum. Sharon Newman's anxiety, palpable and continuous, adds a human dimension to the struggle, a reflection of love, fear, and the instinct to protect those closest to you. The tension between caution and action, between fear and courage, heightens the stakes in a city where danger is rarely abstract and never far from home. Every decision Nick makes carries not just strategic weight, but emotional resonance, reflecting the heavy burden of protecting family while confronting evil with integrity. Audra Charles's moral compass faces its most compelling test as she navigates the treacherous waters of sabotage and manipulation. Holden Novak's plot to sever the bond between Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman tempts her with the promise of control, yet the personal cost looms like a shadow over her conscience. Should she act on this scheme, the fallout could reignite Claire's wrath and spark a chain reaction of revenge, betrayal, and damaged trust that could reverberate across multiple families. The stakes are not merely romantic, they are deeply personal, entangled with pride, ambition, and the fragile architecture of relationships built on loyalty and mutual respect. Every move Audra contemplates is a high-stakes gamble, a decision that could either protect her interests or devastate her world, leaving audiences on edge as the consequences ripple outward. Finally, Christine Blair Romalotti continues her measured strategic preparation for Mariah Copeland's trial, working tirelessly to balance the scales of justice with empathy and foresight. Her efforts to secure a mental health facility placement instead of prison reflect the complex interplay between law, human psychology, and compassion, highlighting the ways in which morality and legality intersect. Each courtroom maneuver, every strategic argument, and client interaction adds layers of tension and anticipation, illustrating the stakes inherent in decisions that can irrevocably alter a life. Christine's journey underscores the broader themes of justice and redemption in Genoa City, emphasizing that in a world rife with deceit, manipulation, and betrayal, courage and dedication can still make a difference. As the city teeters on the brink, the stage is set for a week of extraordinary drama, where every secret, every lie, and every daring move carries immense emotional weight. From the tempestuous Newman family to the ambitious maneuverings at Chancellor, from the fragile sparks of romance threatened by mistrust to the shadowy threats that lurk in every corner, Genoa City is alive with tension, passion, and cinematic intensity. This is a world where loyalty is tested, hearts are broken, and power is never given freely, only seized, defended, or lost. For viewers, each moment offers a masterclass in storytelling, rich with suspense, emotional resonance, and the promise that nothing in Genoa City is ever as simple as it seems.